Alright, senior statistics here. Now we're going to look at some graphs for categorical data. Okay, so there's double bar charts, there's segmented or stacked bar charts, and then there's pie charts. First thing we're going to look at is double bar charts. So you want to use this with categorical data. How do you construct them? You construct it just like a normal bar chart, but with two or more groups being compared. You must use relative frequency on the vertical axis. Now, the reason why you have to use vertical frequency, because the things that you're comparing might not have the same total number of things being used. So you might have more actual data from one topic than the other, but you still want to be able to compare how often that occurs based off the data that you did collect. Okay? So you also must include a key to denote the different bars. Okay? So here's an example. Each year the Princeton Review conducts a survey of students applying to college and the parents of college applicants. In 2009, 12,715 high school students responded to the question, ideally, how far from home would you like the college you attend to be? Also, 3,007 parents of the students applying to college responded to the question, how far from home would you like the college your child attends to be? Data is displayed in the frequency table below. So if we have the actual numbers, this is how often people responded. We want to convert this to relative frequency. So what we're going to end up having to do this, we're going to have to add up all the students, take each of the parts, and then divide by the total. And then we do the same thing for the parents. Add up all the parents, take each of the parts, and divide by the total. Alright, when we do this, we end up having these values. So 4,450 students over the total that was actually done. It gives us 0.35. The 1,594 out of the 3,007 of the parents gives us 0.53. Now these relative frequencies are what we're going to actually use in the bar chart. Okay, so let's look at how this actually works. Okay, so we've got the ideal distance from the students being within the different categories. We have 4 different categories in here. So we're going to have 4 different types of bar charts that we're going to work with. Okay, we have less than 250 miles, 250 to 500 miles, 500 to 1,000, and then more than 1,000 miles. Okay, so we use the relative frequencies between the two. Now, if you went back to the frequency table, remember, the parents that wanted it less than 250 miles had a lower number than the actual students that responded to being less than 250 miles. But if we're looking at relative frequency based off the total number of data that we collected, it ends up showing that the parents are actually pretty higher, about by 20 points, and are 0.2 points higher up that list. Okay, so what does this end up telling us about things? So, what does the graph show? The ideal distance from college, somewhere between or less than probably 500 miles would be ideal for everybody. That's the majority of both groups. Is as long as it's under 500 miles, then both groups actually end up enjoying it. Now parents want them even closer. You know, they want their little babies to be home with them, so they really don't want them to go far away. So students are a little bit more tendency of wanting to just stay away from and get farther away from the nest. Okay, but it's still that same thing. If we look at the data, we can see where it compares between parents and the students.